Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm SD2 Production, and welcome to Let's Talk, the podcast that won't stop, your one-stop shop for video game and pop culture news. I'm SD... Oh, I already said my name. So, does it matter who I am? I'm the host. That's the basic gist of this. It's been a long while, I know, and the reason for that is because of a lot of personal shit. This is the third time we try to record this, so I'm a little tired of the intro. Of course, with me always is my partner in crime, Mr. Curry Son Curry.
Hello, I'm Curry. I'm a music composer, and I do stuff.
And our latest member of the Let's Talk crew, Miss ImoriStar.
Hi, I'm ImoriStar. I'm a voice actor, singer, let's player, cosplayer, creepypasta narrator, and professional trombonist. Love to bone every day.
It's kind of her forte. It was all over her resume. It was kind of weird, actually.
Yeah, it's on my resume. Under skills, I put boning, and, I got a lot of calls back, actually.
That's the creepiest noise ever. Welcome back. Welcome back to the amazing content that we provide. We bring you video game news, movie, anime news, and Curry's creepy obsession with trombonists, apparently. And 12-year-old girls. It's a pretty close niche kind of situation. He doesn't really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, with this awkwardness behind us, let's finally get into our weeks. This time we will let Imori start.
Oh, okay. This week I was a little bit sick, but I'm getting over it. And what else did I do? I watched the new Ava movie, and my recent projects, I narrated an audiobook. It's called The Honored Guest. It'll be on audible.com. And I also did a voice acting project with an indie game. It's free to download. I'll give you the link in the description below. And I got to play the main character in that. And I'm working on some new YouTube projects and fan dubs. One with SD. That's going to be pretty cool.
Hello.
So, yeah. One with the honored host.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's my week.
It starts with hearts and ends with bullshit.
Dumb.
It's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be really sad, and I'm hoping that you guys cry when you watch it.
Yes.
Keep going. Is that your week? Is that your week, Imori?
About my week.
Oh, I was okay. Yeah, Curry, go right ahead.
The week of mine. How my week was. Well, my week, guys.
Jesus Christ! Is your whole entire week gonna be like
It was
just
my
you
week.
in Pig Latin, learning Pig Latin?
This is a great week so far.
Exactly. It's always fun to learn a new language.
That is true. Well, on Saturday I went to San Antonio, and I got to chill out there for a little bit, and the rest of the week I did absolutely nothing.
Which is perfect spring break
I know.
stuff to do, honestly. I'm surprised you didn't even like do nothing all the time. Didn't even go to San Antonio.
I know.
Surprising that you went.
I'm surprised I did something, man.
So literally nothing. You haven't watched anything or video game, blah blah blah.
Nope.
He's
I've
just
been
been
doing
laying
a little bit
down.
of composing and working on an album
Ooh.
that Imori knows about.
Oh yeah, I get to sing a song in that. That's gonna be fun.
I mean, it'd be really weird if you didn't sing a song in it, wouldn't it? He's
so.
I'm making an album. I want you to hold the boom mic. If you just
I expected that would be my role. I'm not a good singer. I expected to be the background person. Hey, does anyone need any refreshments?
Dang.
Excuse me, do you need a tambourine?
Yeah. Does anyone need a professional trombonist, tambourine player at the same time?
I can do racist voices in the background, so any one of your urban ones. Perfect. Does this album of yours have a name?
It is called Folk Songs Volume 3, available in a few months. Oh!
Screamo edition.
Screamo edition.
Screamo edition. Yeah.
Crazy. You would think that because that style of music is dead, that it wouldn't come back, but just like
So you're
everything
comparing it to
horrible in the
disco?
world, it always comes back.
Screamo never dies.
It just calls its mom and tells on us.
Yeah.
Enough. Let's stop making fun of weirdos. Let's get really into the shit. This is my week time. My week has been a pain in the ass. I have been through a lot of bullshit, and I'm not gonna get really into it. Only that I've been feeling sick, having to deal with trying to get all of these little projects back together again. More than anything, it's just been a lazy week also because I've just been watching movies, playing video games. As of right now, I am playing Resident Evil Remake, Bloodborne, getting ready for that Dark Souls 3.
Nice.
What else? Oh, I'm playing Silent Hill. I'm probably gonna get back into a very old game that I had, which is BioShock. I think I'm gonna get back into BioShock just to refresh it.
BioShock 1 or 2?
1. I want to go through the entire series again.
Or Infinite?
1. I'm gonna go through the entire thing again.
I should really get back into Destiny, though.
You're the only one that needs to get back into Destiny. As far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty much done with that game. Well, actually, that's not true because I haven't done all the DLC. But I will hopefully get that all done fairly soon.
That's good, man.
Imori is dropping. She's gone again.
Oh wait, what? Imori?
Imori is gone. We'll try to get her back. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. It's been quite the hassle trying to get this podcast back together. And as you can see, a lot of crazy shit going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, trying to get Imori back. Trying to keep the... Okay, I can't do this anymore.
It was going so good.
Yep.
I think she's back.
Imori, you back?
Are you alive?
I am back. I died and then I resurrected myself. Apparently Skype didn't want me to talk about BioShock. Skype wanted me to die a miserable death, so good on you, Skype.
Okay, we'll try to cut that out.
Sorry.
It's fine. Okay, let's just get into the shit. Let's talk about anything. I'm completely... I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? This is before we begin, of course, I want to say that this is an introductional podcast. We're coming back, so we want to kind of refresh people on sort of our thoughts of some recent things that have been going on in the video game biz, along with also recent films, video games, blah, blah, blah. So I think right off the bat, we should begin with 2015 and how that year's been going on for us. So does anyone have anything to say about 2015 in general?
2015 was like a terrible cancer that you get in your rectum and just spreads out, systematically throughout your body. That's what 2015 was like for me. It was like a politically correct, everyone's very upset and angry about everything cancer. And now 2016 is absolutely terrifying. I thought 2016 was going to be, incredible, amazing. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be so much better this year. And now Donald Trump's going to be our president, and I'm scared. I'm so scared.
Basically, we're trading Tumblr for Google+.
Yeah.
That's basically what's going on.
Oh my god.
You have every right to be afraid.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk politics on here, but
I mean,
I am afraid.
It's not we shouldn't, but I mean, it's not, well, I mean, if he was a real politician, I would say no.
Right.
But let's be honest
That
here.
was
We're talking
amazing.
about a man who's literally brought up by the stupid shit that he says and he spews out of his mouth. So,
Thank you. Oh my god, I'm so glad.
That was
you
really
guys have
satisfying.
brains. That was so satisfying. Thank you so much.
and I think we all agree that if the shit gets hard and we all are dead, if he gets elected, we're going to call Duchess. That's our good friend, Miss Moondra Mavet, and we're just going to move in with her in Canada, honestly.
We will.
I have some friends in Canada and England that I've already started talking to, and I'm like, hey, can I crash on your couch if Donald Trump becomes our president?
She
And they're
is
like,
so
yes.
on top of it.
Literally,
They're like,
the
they're
moment.
like, yes.
Literally,
They're like, we understand.
I think me and Curry's how we're gonna do it is we're just gonna literally walk up to the cops and just say like, "Oh, hey, we're minorities. Show us the exit, please."
Yeah.
We're just
Tan yourselves like brown, and then just be like, we're Mexicans. Take us to Canada.
I don't even have to. Damn,
no, we don't have to.
Oh, wow.
I don't either. I'm actually what is it again? I'm Hispanic, sort of.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Your icon is a cat that has a Dio Brando face, so...
Deal. Yeah. Mura mura mura. Speaking of Dio and JoJo, Part 4 is coming up, and I think we're all very excited.
Yes!
Josuke, one of my personal favorite Joestars.
Yes.
That reminds me of like, I'm not gonna spoil a lot of stuff. I'm gonna try and keep it on the download. I'm just gonna give my 2 cents about it. I think Part 4 is probably the most interesting because it's not a clear-cut, all-together story. It's very much spread out like it was like a series of events, and it all comes together in the end. And not all of it really makes a completely all together story, but it fits so well with one another that it makes sense to me. And when I read it, I was very excited to see what happens next in the story, or what weird event was going to happen after that. And when it came to like Part 3 specifically, is what I'm talking about, is it was a clear-cut situation. It was like, this is the start and here's the end, and the events that happen all together, even the weird bits, all came from that point. Like,
Yeah, 1 through 3 was really like
serialized.
Yeah, very serialized, very to the point, which was fine.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then
that's
Part 4 took a new direction. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with it in the anime, because it seems like the studio takes their time a lot. They're not like rushing out the animation.
Dragon
They're
Ball
really
Super.
taking their time with it.
Sorry, had a call.
Did you say Attack on Titan?
Dragon Ball Super.
Oh,
Dragon Ball Super.
I was gonna be
Dragon
like,
Ball Super.
Very Dragon Ball Super.
I'm very excited. I heard it's out. Is it out?
Super?
Yeah, Super.
It is, and it's a piece of shit. So nobody
really
go watch
is.
Super.
Is it? Is it
It's
horrible?
so bad.
Somebody
Oh,
told
no.
Toriyama after the Frieza saga. Somebody asked Toriyama if he wanted to keep going. He said no, and then they dropped a busload of cash in his front doorstep, and he was like, "Hey, I'll shit out a couple more volumes. That's cool." And then he kept it going, and by now, the end of the story is Toriyama hates his creations, wish he never made it, and we also wish that he never made it either.
Oh no. The movies were so good though.
Oh yeah, that's the best. That's the best part though. Those modern movies that we all kind of enjoy and are happy around. That's basically what Super is. It's just a retelling of the last 2 films you watch.
It
So
really
if you
is.
really
Oh,
want to watch
no.
Super, you can just watch the fucking movies.
Yeah, you got the Beerus saga, like that's the first movie, and you got the Golden Frieza arc, which is the second movie. But they're actually trying to do something, somewhat original. They're having a tournament. Yeah, that's so original, right? Like,
Oh my god,
man,
are you
that's never
serious?
happened before in anime.
Remember when
Never.
Remember when Cell wanted a tournament and we were like,
Yeah.
really?
remember that.
Like again? We're gonna do this? All right, I guess.
I remember
mean,
like a tournament happened in the second arc of Dragon Ball, and the fourth arc, I think. And
It's
then
generally all the time. It's all the time. It happens all the time.
And then all of them.
freaking tournaments aren't original, guys.
Yeah.
No, Curry. They're doing it now, so it makes it modern.
Oh, they don't have the tournament bracket this time. Sorry.
Oh, are you serious? Brackets it? Oh my god, that's what they were missing all along. When you really think about it, this makes it so different, guys. This is different.
This is totally
God, or so original. What a genius,
Genius.
Toriyama is. What a genius.
Oh my god,
It's not at all fueled by his necessity for buttloads of cash.
Toriyama, just keep making character designs for Dragon Quest. That's really all you need. That's all you need to do.
Oh, I want to play the new Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest 7 or 8.
8.
Oh yeah, that one's coming soon, I believe. It's really strange how those are the two games that didn't make it to the West, and now they're finally bringing it. And now they decided that they're gonna ship out both of them, 7 and 8. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. I always found that
Yeah.
really weird, but I like it. I haven't played the weird was it Dragon Quest Heroes, which is like is another like Dynasty Warriors game with a different
Yeah.
IP. I hear it's okay. It's not crazy good.
Yeah, it's not. You're not missing out.
Yeah, it's no Hyrule Warriors, which is
Yeah.
and then like, I'm noticing a lot of Dragon Quest lately.
Yeah.
For instance,
It's just starting to get really popular, which is weird because I've been playing it since like the PS2 days, I think.
I barely played them. I really don't care for Dragon Quest because every time I look at Toriyama's art style, I'm just reminded at the fact that there isn't any continuation of Chrono Cross. I'm just like,
Oh,
fuck.
Chrono Cross was so good.
Wait, why did I say Chrono Cross? I meant
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono
you meant.
Trigger, yeah. Chrono Cross
Chrono
is a piece of
Trigger.
shit. Nobody
Yeah.
quote me on this. Nobody quote me saying
Well,
I like
time to
Chrono
quote
Cross.
SD loves Chrono Cross.
Yep.
No, Chrono Trigger was great.
Oh
like,
my God,
remember,
yeah.
like on PS1 when they added the animated scenes, and you're just like, oh my god, it's
Yep.
everything I've ever wanted.
Like every time I ever saw the art style when I played on the SNES, I always remember going like, this could be an anime, and this could have been a kick-ass anime, and the fact that we get a glimpse of that in the PS1 version is always fun. That should be the anime. It shouldn't be Super. It should be Chrono Trigger.
Oh my god, a Chrono Trigger
Exactly.
anime. Yes.
Exactly. I'd totally be all for that. Like,
Oh my god.
to be honest,
My
I
body's
haven't played Dragon Quest or Chrono Trigger before.
And you're in love with Toriyama's art style.
I know.
And that's basically what those games are. They're just basically Toriyama like
Definitely.
providing the
Yeah.
only thing that he can anymore, because he can't
I
provide
don't
story.
know. They're different than like Dragon Ball Z and stuff. Though.
Well,
I mean,
no,
it's
that's-
completely different. It's just the art style.
That's what I'm saying is that
definitely.
Toriyama is behind the story,
artwork.
which makes them pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
they're their own original thing. They all bring out some interesting ideas. It's the Toriyama's look that kind of
Mm-hmm.
that's all you get
It's
from
kind
him.
of like Code Geass, like Clamp drew the characters but didn't have anything to do with the story.
Right.
So yeah, so I guess if you just really like the art style,
Which I love.
then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clamp's art style is weird. They all look like Stretch Armstrong figures at this point.
They
which
all-
is,
they all
I used
look
to
like
love their
Bloodbone,
art so much.
Bloodborne characters. I started to notice that.
I used to love their art style so much until Tsubasa, and their arms just became like went down to their knees, and like they became 7 feet tall, and I was like, I don't know what to do right now.
I think my 3 like top favorite art styles are like Akira Toriyama's, Studio Ghibli's. Alright, did I pronounce that right?
yeah,
Yeah, it's like Ghibli. I'd pronounce it.
Ghibli.
Like
Whatever.
Ghibli.
the people
'Cause I hear
behind
both.
My Neighbor Totoro.
Studio Giblets.
Giblets.
Yep, Studio Giblets.
So I love those 2, and the third one is, I don't know the studio who does like K-On! And Free, but I love that art style as well.
Yeah.
Is that Shaft?
I don't remember.
Like, I'm not really
Their
into
eyes
the
are
series,
specific.
but-
Like you could always tell it's them because everybody looks like Yui.
Yeah.
Even the men somehow look like Yui, and I'm so confused.
But I just love how I love the smooth art style they have with those series. So.
Yeah, they really push for like a really detailed like stuff. Like
okay, it's by Kyoto Animation.
Kyoto, yeah.
They have beautiful shading. Oh my god.
Like you can say whatever you want about Free. But that art is actually really dead
it's
on.
Really good.
The animation is really good. Like there were a number of animes.
I watch it only for the plot and not at all for the hot shirtless men.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely.
Only for the plot, because there's so much plot in it. Like there's just so much plot. In fact, there's so much plot I can't even talk about how much plot there is.
A lot of swimming in water and.
Yeah, I mean there's just so much swimming, and they have to make their club
tight.
And swim.
It's like in harems. I watch it.
Oh, it's tight.
Exactly for the plot. I don't at all endorse any fan service whatsoever. I'm always there for the plot.
Yeah,
I always
I'm
enjoy
always
that.
in for that plot.
Oh my god. You know what the fun part about a harem is? Is that you know exactly how it ends because they're always end the same. Because it's a harem. So there's never going to be one single person that gets the guy. It's going to end on the stupidest note possible. Either
Free isn't a harem. It's literally fan service.
I know. I'm not talking about Free anymore. I'm just talking about harems in general.
I'm still thinking about Free.
Of course you are. When do you stop?
Sorry. I'm going to need about 30 minutes alone. Just hang on.
I
if you hear a vibrating sound, that's just her toothbrush. Honestly, it's just her toothbrush.
I'm just brushing my teeth, guys. Just a lot.
What was it? Right. So with harems, it always ends the same. It's always. This is basically how a lot of people end harems. It's basically you pick out one of the girls out of the specific bunch. You put her in danger. You have the main character running to rescue her, and all the various characters, that is, all the various girls in the harem, help him in some sort of way or impede him in some sort of way. By the end of it, something is revealed, but it means dick because he literally doesn't care. By the end of it, he doesn't share his feelings with the person. He doesn't pick one specific girl to be with. It always ends the same. It ends with one big climactic bullshit moment, and then all the girls come together, and we're supposed to expect that this is fine, that we're supposed to be happy with this conclusion. We want one specific woman to win. And then,
sorry, gosh, what was that?
And then what happens next? They decide that, you know what? This isn't the best ending. You know what the best ending is? A 13th episode. But all about pools.
But it's always a beach episode.
Or a beach,
and they're
yeah.
always in bikinis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the
it's a
pain
good
of
episode.
harems altogether. And I hate that like trope is still around. And you know what? It's the shitty part about it is that it works. People care about that fact. And
It's because people see themselves as the main dude. They see themselves as the main character, like, oh yeah, I could totally get all these girls all up on me. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, the people who watch it probably aren't gonna.
No, they're not.
It's just
ever,
it's just strange how like these concepts come about, and it's like, you know, other harem types, not exactly harems, but general shows that try to do something to this degree, at least end with a comparable the idea behind it. Like, obviously off the top of my head, I gotta say Clannad. Clannad had a huge overload of women that you can choose between, and everybody was picking and choosing. In fact, that was such a big deal that they've made multiple episodes with different women. But in the end,
That was made by the same studio too.
yeah.
Curry likes.
Oh,
Clannad.
yeah.
But in the end, it was Nagisa, and it always will seem that way, and it will be like that for a lot of other animes too. But the general gist of it is that no matter how good of an anime, tropes will always be there, and they will annoy the shit out of me. I don't know why I brought it up. It was on the top of my head, and I just wanted to say that out loud.
This is therapy for you.
Clannad
SD.
after
This is-
story though.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Nobody say anything. We don't want to
No
spoil
spoilers.
anything.
No spoilers.
Right.
We'll just. But yeah.
I gave a hint.
If this is rant, can I rant about Ava 3.33?
Oh yeah, let's.
Because
I don't
let's-
know about this.
Curry, have you seen it?
No.
Oh my god.
I have not.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Just watch the original
Just
series.
No, just wait until the 4th movie, or else you're gonna be in total agony, because the end will come and you'll have no idea what's going on. And you're like, I really need to watch the 4th movie to get the whole story. And then you like look up when the 4th movie's gonna come out, and like the director's like, Trollololo, we're working on a Godzilla movie, so we don't know when it's gonna be out. Trollololo, and you're like, oh my god, no, don't do this to me. I can't.
To be completely honest, I really want. I've always wanted to do this. It would be interesting to see if we made Curry watch Evangelion the end and then the series.
Oh my god, the last episode, and then make him watch
the rest,
backwards. Yeah.
That would be
He would
fun.
have no idea. We would break him.
You would see where that gif of everybody applauding Shinji comes from and be like, why the fuck are they applauding him?
Yeah, they did not applaud him in that 3rd movie. I felt so bad. The basis of the movie was literally, don't get in the robot, Shinji. Never ever get in the robot. And then his dad's like, dude, get in the robot, Shinji. And then Kawada's all like, you can get in my robot, Shinji. And then Rei's like, I don't know. And then like...
Asuka's just punching walls because
and
she
then
apparently
Asuka's
has
just
the strength
stuff.
of 10 gorillas.
Yeah, she's just punching through bulletproof glass, and she's all like, I've got a sweet eye patch, and I hate your guts, Shinji. And the British chick is just like, I don't really care what's going on, but whatever. And then Misato's like, I hate you too, Shinji. We won't tell you why we hate you, but we hate you, and it's been 14 years, and never get in the robot, though. And then his dad's like, you should totally get in the robot, Shinji. And then Shinji's like, maybe I should get in the robot. And everyone's like, don't get in the robot.
It all comes back to the fact that a lot of the times with animes, and generally with a lot of television shows, is that when you follow the main character, when you have one specific main character that basically what they know, you know. And that's it. Shinji is unfortunately that character in this 3rd film, and he is completely in the dark about every single aspect of what's going on, to the point where it's almost laughable because you remember what happens in the 2nd film. And because of the events that happen in the 2nd film, you're just tearing your head out trying to understand what the fuck everybody's so pissed off about. And nobody wants to explain it because, unfortunately, everyone still has a pissy... It's like everybody's giving him the silent treatment for no fucking reason.
Literally, the whole movie could have been avoided if they just would have been like, hey, Shinji, this is what happened. Don't get in the robot,
Exactly. The moment somebody opened their mouth and told him what happened, maybe he wouldn't have made the choice that he made halfway through that movie, and then he wouldn't be in that stupid robot by the end of it. The point is, altogether, this all could have been avoided, and that's the biggest issue with this film. It's not a collection of what will happen and what is the conclusion of everything that happened in the past 2 films, but instead, a huge slap in the face for fans everywhere because you followed the wrong hero.
Yeah. And it's too bad because Shinji's actually pretty likable in this.
Yeah,
I thought so.
Shinji altogether...
In the series, like, I was like, I don't know if I like this kid. He kind of sucks.
Because he's
but
human.
In the movies, he's human, but he's a relatable human. He really complains way too much in the anime. Like, his life's not that bad.
Well,
but in the movies,
I mean, like,
his life is terrible.
It all comes down to the fact...
He's got nothing. He has nothing, SD.
It all comes down to the fact that the original animes was a completely different story from what's happening in the movies. They're two different series.
Different, yeah.
The anime follows the story structure of a man, the creator himself, his delusions and his faulties and his views on humanity and what that means. And the movies are more of a fast-tracked version of that, where he can't slow down, like, altogether everything that's going on. He can only fast forward it to points that you can relate to as a moviegoer. And that's the issue with making animes in the movies. They never fully show you what a person's trying to create. And, you know, he looks at this, the original creator, and he says that this is probably something he would probably want to do with the original series, but he didn't have any money, and he had to shell it out as fast as he could. So this is what we get.
He made it back.
Yeah.
He made it back. Don't you worry.
But altogether, the point is that, like, Shinji is the human character. He's the person we're supposed to...
At least he didn't masturbate over Asuka's comatose body this movie.
That's true. But then again, I'm sure every person out there who's seen the second film or anything from Evangelion has masturbated to Asuka's body.
Asuka's sweet eye patch and cat
Basically.
bodysuit.
Probably
thing,
my
plug
favorite
suit.
This all
version of her
sounds
look.
so fascinating.
Exactly. Well,
You
okay.
need to watch it eventually.
So
Carrie.
here's how I'm gonna explain it to you, Carrie. This is how I would explain to somebody who hasn't seen the film, and I would get them to watch it. Evangelion is a complicated film, a complicated series because of the genre it's in. It's a genre that has a long lineage of other animes and tropes. I've always said this, that with Evangelion and Madoka Magica, those are films, those are series and films that you should only watch if you've seen at least one or two other animes in that series. If you watched Big O, the Big O, if you've seen Gundam, if you've seen any kind of mecha anime, and you understand the reasons those animes are what they are and the tropes behind them, Evangelion becomes a lot more deeper because it points out the basic flaws in those tropes. Those aren't
to
human.
add,
Huh?
you should only watch Evangelion or Madoka Magica if you hate yourself.
That is true.
Or if I lost my head. Sorry.
Wow, Cran, too soon. Man.
But yeah, like altogether, if you understand the tropes, then you understand what it's pointing out, because those animes don't represent humanity. They don't represent the human side that we all understand. They only represent a small percentage of that. We are not gung ho.
No, they're very representative of the human side. That's why those animes are so, you know,
But
like Madoka and Evangelion. Those are very humanistic animes. Deals with the struggles of their.
no,
of the
that's
characters'
exactly what I'm
decisions
saying. I'm
and-
saying that Gundam and
Oh,
Sailor
Gundam,
Moon,
no.
those
No,
like
Gundam
actual,
is
like
so
when you
not,
think
especially
about
Gundam
mecha
Wing.
animes and
Yeah,
magical
yeah.
girl animes, those are not representative of human lives. Because let's be honest here, if some magical cat walked up to you and told you, "Hey, I'll give you magical powers as long as you sell me your soul," you wouldn't. You would probably go,
You
we
go,
all.
I have schizophrenia. I need a therapist.
Let's
I'm
be
gonna
completely
faint
honest.
now.
We all yell about how we'll be doing something different. When we watch something, we are like, when we talk about fighting somebody, for instance, or everybody has those moments where you think about, what if this bank got robbed right now? What if some nutcase came in with a gun and he pointed it at everybody, and I'm on the floor and I'm thinking to myself for a split second, I can take this guy down. You think about that while you're in line in the bank, and you're just thinking about that, and you're wondering, like, yeah, I'll be the badass. I'll be the hero that everybody likes.
I played GTA.
And then when that shit happens, what do? You shit your pants and you fall to the ground because you know for a fact that as a human being, your life only matters to you. And that's the poor fact about humanity, is that we're pretty selfish creatures. And altogether, no matter how big we think, it's the actions that represent us. And these animes point out that humanistic flaw, that we are selfish and we understand danger in a much bigger scale. We did not become top of the food chain because we played it dangerously. No, we played it safe. And these animes represent that, how humanity plays it safe. And all of the characters in Evangelion, besides Shinji, the main character, are not humans. They represent certain moods in humans, and they represent certain tropes in that anime genre. For instance, like Rei is a complete blank. She has absolutely no personality, like a majority of women in the animes. So when you see those
I'll
characters
get back in the kitchen.
yelling about how this isn't about them and this is about saving humanity and it being hung-ho and positive, and you see Shinji basically pissing himself and yelling how he can't get into this fucking robot that is probably not a robot. Spoilers.
Hey,
Altogether, you see that person, and yeah, sometimes you'll say, what a bitch, what a pussy, what a fucking idiot. I would totally go in that robot. But in reality, what you're looking at is your actual humanity. Shinji represents the human side that we forget that we have. And that is what the creator kind of points at. And it's the same thing with Madoka Magica, where we see characters that are falling apart because that's literally what would happen to us. In any
I think
situation,
it's time for you to write your dissertation on this subject.
right? Altogether, it just comes back to the fact that these animes have a much deeper meaning, and I feel like when it comes to viewing them, you should watch it at least 3 times, and then
Son of a
have a
bitch.
basic understanding of what's happening altogether, and just work off of that. And Evangelion is a great anime. I strongly recommend it, because not only is it fascinating, but it's also pretty kick-ass. I'm just gonna say that.
I heard that.
Madoka Magica is pretty cool too, I guess.
I did see a little.
Just don't watch the movies.
Don't watch the movies,
Don't
they'll
watch
break
the
you.
movies.
Break you.
Curry will only watch the movies.
It's actually funny because the first 2 movies are just the anime anyway.
Yeah. I always think back to that. I'm like,
I heard that. Yeah.
it's such a weird thing. Is that we'll get a film version of something we've already seen, and people will line up to watch it because they're interested in seeing what a high-end version of what they saw was. But a lot of the times in those animes, they're not exactly that high-end. Like, they still have the
Yeah.
crappy animations that was on television.
The Ava ones are. Oh my god. Oh my god, that animation.
Have you ever seen the
So
Attack on
good.
Titan films? They're
Oh
pretty bad.
oh no. So bad.
Okay. What else should we talk about? Oh, we should talk about some of the things that I've sent to you guys. All right, so
The
there's
PlayStation
some
VR, right?
PlayStation VR. Let's talk about that.
I'm so excited to talk about all these things.
Okay, I have no idea what the PlayStation VR is, so it's fresh to me.
So they pretty much took it from the Oculus. They made their own design for the Oculus. They're like, yeah, we're gonna patent this ourselves.
Yeah.
And so they made their own pretty much Oculus Rift. It's gonna be our first VR headset for a console. It's gonna be groundbreaking, and it seems pretty affordable too.
Yeah.
As far as consoles
Yeah.
go, like the bundle I saw, like wasn't that bad.
How much
and
was it?
so I'm pretty ready.
Well,
I'm
I'm
ready.
by itself it's about $399, and
Okay.
with the PlayStation World, I believe it's with PlayStation VR World, which is a game that has a multitude of games with it, all VR. It's about $499, and it's what's funny is that you pointed out that you said Oculus Rift when the Oculus Rift was just the first marketable name.
Yeah, it was almost like a prototype, I guess.
No,
but you could still buy it.
It's just funny because they're not called Oculus Rifts. The one unique product is called an Oculus Rift. Everything it's actually called VR. But the problem is that Oculus Rift came first, so a lot of people call all
Just
these
call it the
VR.
Oculus
Yeah,
Rift.
it's just
Yeah.
it's like when somebody refers to the Wii U or anything by Nintendo, just Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm sorry not to burst that. I just found that really funny, but because I was pointing out how, a lot of people usually clutch on to the first thing and then work it as the entire thing, because since
Like
VR
Band-Aid.
technology, yeah, exactly like Band-Aid. That is a perfect example, because it's not called a Band-Aid.
Right.
It's just the product name is Band-Aid. But it's just interesting because this is new. This is so new. We are in the beginning of an entirely new line. Imagine how it felt when the first handheld showed up. People must have been blowing what do we call this? Handheld. Oh my god.
Right.
People used to latch on to the word Game Boy. Remember that? And everybody would call everything a Game Boy.
Right.
And then
yeah.
They still call it a Game Boy.
That's-
like a DS.
that's
They'll
true.
just be like, where's your Game Boy? I'm like, what?
I hear that a lot still.
that's
actually.
true. That is completely true. Walkman. That-
Yeah.
Oh, Walkman, yeah.
Those ideas always stuck to us, and that's an interesting thing. But with
It's just part of linguistics. Whichever is most popular often will evolve to be that vocabulary.
true.
Yeah.
But yeah,
My fancy degree taught me about brand names.
good for you. Maybe you should have gotten into advertisement. I'm just.
I'd be making a lot more money, that's for sure.
I think we all should just get into advertisement and therapy because I think
So down.
that's
Yeah.
where we work.
Yes, advertisement then therapy, because we're gonna need it if you work in advertising.
But I'm very excited to see what the PlayStation VR specifically is going to be the console VR. It's going to be the one that is going to be affordable, and it will be ultimately the one that you know for certain will have games. They've announced so many, and they've prepared so many conferences, and they've promised a multitude of games to be coming to this thing. And you can know for certain that there will be, because with PlayStation, you already have exclusive third-party people working on things. You already have a list of games ready to go at launch.
It's exciting. Wow.
With some of the other Oculus, VRs, it's unfortunate, but there's not a lot to really catch up on. And because they don't have a big brand name behind them, a lot of them, you're not really certain if a lot of good games are to come from it. Because that's the unfortunate part, is like, what is the HTC or whatever the fuck it's called? I forgot, like the Zoo or something like that. Little Wayne has on his face. Like, what games are going to that? Like, who is going to be running that? It's all third-person companies and then indie developers. But are you certain that they're all going to be top-quality stuff? Or is it just going to be complete trash and then nobody's going to look at it? That's the interesting part, is to see who goes down first. Because the person who fails is the example that everybody's going to follow.
Sony's definitely on the up and up. As soon as they created PS4 and it gained momentum, now they're just sort of, in a landslide of just, bringing top quality stuff.
Exactly. Winning exclusives along with various of their own company making first party products that are just exploding. I mean, the talent that they now have behind them is kind of like amazing. And I wish that I could say that for every company, but unfortunately, you're right. Sony is the one that's on the up and up right now, and
I
generally,
won't say anything about the X-Bone. I will try not to.
yeah.
So I did hear about seamless online play with the Xbone and the PS4 and PC. Is that true, or?
You mean cross-platforming?
Yeah, that.
So Xbox recently had announced that they are completely willing and are extremely excited to try and create a huge cross-platform with every single game, with the PC and the PlayStation. And this wasn't exactly like them announcing something. This was them offering something. And Sony recently said, not exactly towards Xbox, but just a general statement was that we've always prided ourselves in our cross-platform with PC, and we're completely happy with being able to work with other companies. Now, interesting enough, that statement, like, a lot of people said that because they didn't say Xbox specifically, that they were just kind of being like, we'll work with anybody, even them, or like just like that.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, the point is that they responded, and that was and that's the positive that everybody should keep in mind. That would be awesome. Imagine being able to play with your Xbox friends. You know?
Yes.
You know, they need their Halo. They need their Gears of War. They need their Killer Instinct.
I don't know if they're gonna do that though, because I think both console giants would end up losing money. Because when you think about it, I know a lot of people who have an Xbox and a PlayStation because they want to be able to play with their friends. And so if you could cross-platform, it would totally get rid of that demographic.
Well, I mean, it all comes down to, well, if this cross-platform thing works, it all comes to also exclusivity. For instance, we have Until Dawn, we have The Last of Us, we have a multitude of games on the PlayStation side, and then you know we have Xbox, we have a Halo, we have Gears of War, we have Killer Instinct, we have are also exclusives, and you know Sony has been beating them at the exclusive game for a very long time, especially with the PlayStation 4. So I think more than anything, this is Xbox trying to see if they can get on that and maybe the whole war in general between the two consoles. Not that there is, not that I'm saying there is, but that
Except that there absolutely is, right?
but if there is a war, it will come down to who has the better exclusives, and we can only assume that PlayStation will win that. But of course, this is all speculation. Sony has not said anything. Xbox has not confirmed that anything is happening. All we can assume is that this cross-platform thing is an idea that's now put out into the world, and so far we're just waiting for somebody to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You know, all of this, like, always talking about exclusivity and crazy stuff like that reminds me of just how privileged we are to be able to talk about anything like this, right? I mean, how great is it to be able to speak your opinion, even give a review? I mean, we said how terrible the Eva movie is, right? How terrible would it be if we were not given that right, or if it was trying to be taken away from us? Like with Jim Sterling, for instance. For those of you who don't understand, Jim Sterling was recently sued by the people at by the studio Digital Homicide for his videos. For most of you who know, Jim Sterling is a amazing reviewer who used to work for Destructoid. He did a lot of awesome reviews, and then he started doing videos and started to become more of a YouTube sensation, became a real big hit in all of the video game developments parts and stuff like that. And generally, he's a pretty good reviewer. I've never read any of his reviews and was completely not on his side. But I will say this: the point is that he's being sued for reviews of this studio's games, and they're pretty bad games. And he has a point in a lot of them, and he points these out, and he makes sure that his audience knows this. Now, as a gamer, I always, like, I don't completely rely on a review. I never do.
Yeah.
And I always look at a review, try and understand it, see if it gets to me, and, you know, it won't be my final say. You know, if somebody online says, "Oh man, these Dark Souls games are shitty," like, then I wouldn't play Dark Souls. I wouldn't play Bloodborne. I wouldn't play these awesome games that I love. If somebody said that, you know, if the latest Dragon Ball Z game is shit, they're probably right. But that's not the point. The point is that you shouldn't rely on one singular person's opinion. You should always keep that in mind. And then, you know, basically what I usually do is I look into the game first, and then I look into a non-spoiler review. And then I look into another person's non-spoiler review, and then I re-negotiate with myself, figure out the game, and then if I really enjoy it, if I can't wait for it, then I'll go play it. But you want to know everything you want to know about a game before you get it. Although I will say this, there are some games that are really fun because you have absolutely no idea what the game is about. But that aside, that's usually for like adventure games. But the point is that if this company decided to do this and it's completely wrong, they're filing for the possibility that because of his videos, they're losing money in their company, and that all the negative feedback from his videos are still attacking them. And personally, I think that that's just ridiculous. When you think about it, if a lot of people are saying negative things about your video game, that's probably because there's some negative things in your video game. And altogether, if you don't have a basic understanding of how the internet works or the video game developments, general, like the video game, what is it, community, internet, basically, if you don't understand how the internet works, you shouldn't get annoyed by every negative comment. You should let that brush by you. Developers know exactly what to do when it comes to this. I mean, let's face it. Everybody shits on Ubisoft every once in a while. You don't see...
And for good reason.
Exactly. And you don't see them, like, suing everybody for what people say.
Right. Watch Dogs. Or did you already go over that?
Assassin's Creed. think we're all catching codes or something. I don't know.
Man, we're getting sick. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Sick of this Ubisoft.
Yeah. So I'm actually a really big Jimquisition fan, escapist fan. So I like his show. I like his reviews. I even like his Let's Plays. He has a very funny, sarcastic, aloof attitude when he reviews. I think 2 points. One, internet reviewers need more respect because they're taking the time to bring attention to an indie game, which is very, it's important. It's almost monumental, really, to bring more attention to whether it be a movie reviewer, a game reviewer. They're bringing attention to either B-rated movies or indie games, which wouldn't get that much attention. So actually, second point, they're actually bringing more attention to it, thereby giving the company, actually more views and more downloads. More people are willing to play the game because it's bad for that cringe factor.
Right.
Like when someone reviews Birdemic, you want to, if you haven't seen it already, of course you want to see it because it's absolutely terrible. And so he's actually getting more attention for his games because they're bad and people want to play it. So he's actually probably made more money off Jim's reviews rather than, not. So it's almost kind of ironic in a way. There's really no point in taking away someone's right to free speech, especially with we're wanting more honest journalism in gaming, and I can't think of anything more honest than him. So anyone more honest than him. So really, this is what we should be respecting and wanting, rather than being rather than him whining about it, the fact that his studio made some bad games and I'm picked on by the internet, I'm not in my safe space kind of thing. That's just ridiculous. Grow up and make a better game then. Okay?
Exactly. Bad publicity is still good publicity. What is this saying again? All publicity is good publicity. Yeah. The point is there is attention. There is attention in your studio. If the problem is that a lot of indie developers, a lot of people who get into developing video games in general, don't have an understanding of what the gaming industry is like. Mm-hmm. And so they fall to the wayside because they just can't handle it. I mean, the past big titans have fallen. What was that guy? The dude who did Flappy Birds. He fell under the weight of his game. He didn't like the negative attention, and so he fell down. And then you have Phil Fish. He was a dick. He was just generally an asshole. But because of all the negative attention, he didn't stick around to make Fez 2. Actually, that's pretty good. Phil Fish is kind of an asshole, so I'm just going to leave it at that. People can't handle attention, and you should. You should be able to handle it, because if you want to make it in the gaming industry, you have to be willing to take the negativity. And sometimes it's good, because you can take all of the comments and you can go through them all, figure out what is the problem, and work on it.
Yeah, and they really should understand that there really is a high standard now for games. And
exactly. Constructive criticism isn't a bad thing. It's just something there to help you along. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. And that is overall the problem, is that Jim Sterling put out a video saying that their game is bad, and instead of sitting back, relaxing, taking some of that review and maybe working on a better game, use it to work on a better game. Mm-hmm. Instead, they decided to attack, because as we all know, this has been going on for a very long time. Jim Sterling has been I wouldn't say he's ever attacked them at all. I would say that more than anything, Digital Homicide has been on the attack the entire time, and he's just been on the defense trying to just get past it. But of course, like everybody knows, vengeance never rests, and Obviously, this case will probably not go to court because it is probably very stupid, and
I think so.
I'm sure that every judge ever is going to be like, this is dumb. This is some internet bullshit. We don't care about this. And altogether, it will probably end with digital homicide doing nothing. But it's just interesting to see how, because of one person's opinion, somebody freaks out for years. This is a company that's been freaking out for years, and it's finally come to the point where it's come to lawsuits because they can't think of anything else to do. Honestly, instead of suing Jim Sterling, they should probably make a better game. But I guess they can't really find it in themselves to do something like that, right?
Yeah. There's no way they'd win. I hope not. That'd be ridiculous.
Exactly.
Because every critic has the right to, every person.
Exactly.
It would be like the Fine Brothers, suing everyone for having a reaction.
Oh my! Shh! Don't say react. We're not reacting.
We're not allowed to react. I forgot. Oh no! I have to pay the money now.
We are just casually having a conversation about a mutual thing that we saw and read. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone has the right to react. Everyone has the right to voice an opinion, even if it's a bad opinion or good opinion. So
exactly. Without free speech, we wouldn't be the country that we are. With that serious note, let's move on to our final thing. I'm sure both of you are
my favorite
very
thing.
excited. In fact, Imori, since you're the new one, why don't you introduce this segment?
Oh my god, Hitari Hikaru is coming out of
time.
retirement. Oh my god. She's coming back April 3rd. I've known about this for a while because I'm a huge Hiki fan, and I'm super stoked. She's doing her first song is for some sort of radio show that's in Japan. And so she's gonna have a whole bunch of songs. I'm hoping she's gonna do the Ava 4th song, and people are obviously hoping for a Kingdom Hearts 3 song. So she writes pretty much all of her own stuff and does most of the work. So I'm stoked. Everyone's really excited to see her back.
When you walk away, you
that
don't
one.
hear me say, please. Oh, baby.
It's really nice because her
don't
English
go.
is so
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
I was super surprised. I always thought that was a dubbing, honestly. But when I found out it was actually her, I was like,
so,
oh, shit.
too, yeah.
Well, she was born in New York, so yeah. So she actually, I think, has dual citizenship.
She should
And,
she should
yeah,
re-record.
so her Japanese is perfect and her English is perfect. So
Amazing.
She is perfect. Bless Anda Utada. Bless.
Hopefully,
My Lord and Savior.
so we're assuming that she's going to be having a new album and a number of singles. Anyway, the point is she's back, so Kingdom Hearts fans can, stop worrying about the theme. Interesting thing about Kingdom Hearts that I think a lot of people are a little baffled by.
Kingdom
As a recent in Momocon, the creator of Gargoyles, the Disney show, which everybody loves Gargoyles, and Keith
True.
David is there too. They were talking to the crowd, and somebody asked, have you ever thought about making a Gargoyles video game or getting into the video game biz with Disney Infinity or Kingdom Hearts? And it was revealed that it was at one point possible that there would be a Gargoyles world in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, that'd be legit.
Could you imagine if Dream Drop Distance was just cartoons? You would go to DuckTales World and you would go to Tailspin and you would go chill out with the Rescue Rangers. That would be amazing. I would have loved that. Dream Drop Distance would be 100 times better if it was just those classic Disney shows that we all know and love. It's a dying shame that isn't the point. And the creator of Gargoyles has moved on to better and bigger things. He's now doing Young Justice and plenty of other things. He doesn't work for Disney anymore, so you can't go and yell at him to do Disney to go for the new Kingdom Hearts. unfortunately. But you know who you could yell at is, Disney themselves. I mean,
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be weird if there was like a Star Wars world in Kingdom Hearts? Because now Disney owns. God, they own Marvel and Star Wars.
I'm
don't they?
assuming there
really
will
feel
be.
about that?
I'm assuming that there will be a Star Wars world. Maybe not a Marvel world, but definitely a Star Wars world in Kingdom Hearts. I'm almost
Don't
certain.
know how I feel about it.
Well, I
You
mean,
know there's gonna be a Rapunzel world because
Tangled.
in the trailer
Oh,
you
yeah.
could see her.
The
Castle.
Her,
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be Tangled World. You can see her.
It's
castle.
gonna be cool.
I like
yeah.
Tangle.
So that I'm okay with. I don't know about a Star.
Well, I mean,
That's
it
weird.
just it comes back to the fact that how did you feel about Tron World? How did you feel about Pirates of the Caribbean World? Like,
not that good.
They,
Those were my least favorite worlds. No
they weren't my
offense
favorite
to-
worlds either, to
I'm
be
not
honest.
saying I.
Still
I'm not saying I
likable.
don't like.
but-
Right. I'm not saying I don't like Tron or Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever. Just it was pretty weird.
Imori is a Johnny Depp hater.
What? No.
She hates him.
I hate how he's eternally youthful. Like, I don't know what souls of children he's eating to stay so young, but I need to get on that.
She called Edward Scissorhands subpar at best. She recently talked, and Sweeney Todd is not the best musical of all time.
It's not. But...
That's true. That is true. Altogether, I honestly, because of those other worlds, I really don't care. I honestly don't care what they do with Star Wars. All I'm hoping for is that, if anything, which is probably possible, they're probably going to stick to original trilogy. They're going to go to that. You're going to face Darth Vader, and that's pretty much it. And
They better make it freaking badass.
if anything, because of how I'm looking at it, there's going to be a lot of TIE fighter shit, I'm sure. Because now you can, because now,
Gummy ship versus TIE fighter.
exactly, yeah, like
I can
those
see
weird
that.
things are going to happen.
But,
But
I'm gonna be honest, I
I-
never really liked the gummy missions.
I never did either.
I wonder if they're going to improve them. Like, there's obviously
wonder
a
if
lot
they're
of
gonna
things
cut
that they
it out.
could improve.
We can only hope.
It's just a smooth transition.
And never bring it back.
Gummy ship? What gummy ship?
I know.
Never happened.
Oh, you can count on a gummy ship just as much as you can count on Donald never healing you. It's just inevitable. It's just a part of the game now. Disney knows this. It's not a real Kingdom Hearts game if Donald doesn't give a shit.
Freaking Doland.
Ice! No, heal me! Ice! The guy is...
I'm dying.
Ice! Oh my god. And we can assume that there's plenty of zippers for everybody. I mean, come
Oh
on.
man, like
I would love
Sora's
it.
new outfit looks awful, okay?
I would
Like,
love
Hot
it
Topic
if
stuff.
Very upset with his V-neck and his plaid. He looks like he went to Hot Topic and just picked up an outfit. And I'm
Dude, don't you know?
very
Disney is
disappointed.
all about the 21st century, dude.
it's like
V-necks,
Yeah.
it's
They're
plaid,
trying way too hard to be cool.
Taylor Swift tracks in the back. It all makes sense.
Oh my god.
It's interesting because it literally, he looks like somebody I would go to school with.
He does. He looks like me in high school, and it's very frightening. And I'm like, please don't.
They
true.
just like Kingdom Hearts is actually about humanity, if you really think. Sora represents our stupid adolescence.
Dang it. We're past this.
I don't think any of us slept in like a giant flower pod for like
You know what
3 years
I hope
during adolescence.
I hope that there is realistic swordplay, and I hope that they get the guys from the Kingdom Hearts cringe video to do all
Oh
of
my
the
God.
mocap. That would be
Yes.
awesome.
be
Roxas,
an-
where's Kyrie? She's in the darkness. She doesn't need the light.
Right. It's in the darkness.
I can't kill you. Pathetic. And he walks away. Dual wielding.
Dual wielding.
If anyone hasn't seen that video, you should immediately. This is not
Put that in the description.
exactly.
Also.
That will be
That needs
the.
to be spread. That needs to be the herpes of the internet right now.
Oh my god, I love that video. It is probably my favorite cringe video just because of how real it feels.
So real.
Every time I
Like
watch it,
every LARP I've ever seen.
every time I watch it, I'm just reminded of that other video, that Kingdom Hearts trailer for 2, when that hooded character fights. What's it? You know,
It ended up being Riku because that wasn't a. It was on 2, but it was for 358/2, I think.
Yeah.
Was really the
Yeah.
trailer for. Yeah, because I remember, because that was Riku and he fought Shion eventually. Yeah. Riku is dealing with Ansem or some BS. Yeah, the story gets really convoluted. Square Enix is milking it for everything they have. And I'm addicted. I have a terrible Kingdom Hearts addiction. I own every game, even Chain of Memories. I own Chain of Memories 3 times for the Game Boy Advance,
And this-
PS2, and 1.5 remastered. And I hate them all. I hate them all so much. I just hold them and I cry.
Mori has literally
I rock back
given
and forth.
blood to fictional characters.
Yeah, I know.
Chain of
I know.
Memories.
None of us can. It's card games with keyblades.
Oh
It's
no.
bad.
It's no.
Do you collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Oh man, you know,
Card games on motorcycles.
I don't give one flying fuck about Kingdom Hearts, to be completely honest. I've never really gotten that into this series.
SD, do we need to not be friends anymore? Because, I mean, you know.
I have just not cared.
At least you like Silent Hill. Okay, that's good.
It's not that they're bad. I'm not saying that at all. I think they're great games. I think that these stories are actually pretty interesting, and the characters are cool too. And yeah, I'll say the combat is actually pretty fun, and I hope that and obviously the reason for that, like the reason that combat is so I like that combat so much is because it's so good that they're bringing it to Final Fantasy, and that's
Well,
what
yeah,
I'm
'cause
into.
It's very fluid.
Yeah.
Kingdom
It's
Hearts
fluid. It's not
2.
waiting for that stupid bar to load. That was ridiculous.
It's just like you said, like they're milking this series so much that it almost feels like too much to really care about. In fact, it was so strange how there wasn't an HD re-release of any of the games until recently. For a long time, it felt like they were really pushing for you to buy every fucking console imaginable so you could play any of the games. Like,
And I did.
Imori is a true fan.
I did.
Imori bought
bought
all the Vitas. It was crazy.
I did.
She's the only thing keeping the Vita alive.
Good job.
I do have a Vita.
She's buying
and
the Vita every month. just
every month
just to
with my
keep it
meager
alive.
salary,
Just to keep it alive.
I really like the Vita, actually, and everyone always kind of craps on it and says it's awful, but I think it's actually pretty intuitive for handheld.
I think the
I actually
Vita.
really like it.
I think the Vita
I haven't
has
tried
interesting games. I've never cared for the Hando itself. That's why I've always been interested in the Vita TV. But unfortunately, those are discontinued. So the Vita is slowly dying because the TV is gone, and they're not talking about anything new for the Vita anytime soon. So
That's true, yeah.
That's the second time Sony's canceled the TV. Actually, they for a very limited time they had 3D TVs that they sold that went with that would hook into your PS3, and you had the special 3D glasses with it. I remember my boss at GameStop bought it, and he just like thought it was the greatest thing ever. And and then it was discontinued like a few months later.
It's sad that the Sony's television circuit, the part of their company, is actually really bad and went really bad, so bad so that like
They're great TVs.
No,
Like,
you're
I
right.
have one.
You're right. Their televisions are amazing. It's surprising
one.
how
They're amazing.
how amazing they are. But it's just unfortunate that their that part of the company is dying. Like that's
Yeah.
the next to go, and everybody can see it, and it's unfortunate because those are fucking great televisions. I hope that they continue them in some
It's
aspect.
just expensive and kind of gimmicky.
Exactly.
Who knows? They'll probably put out a VR TV or some BS
Yeah,
soon,
like those TVs
so-
are fantastic for video games because they don't lag. Their frame is they work perfect. like tournament style televisions. People use them at tournaments because of how perfect they are.
Yeah.
Like our Sony TV also doubles as a computer.
Very
You're just like, yeah, get on the internet whenever you want on your television. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's the way to masturbate, everybody.
Yeah, like
that's the dream.
Stuff,
Oh, I didn't
man.
even think about that. I gotta go, guys. I got some important homework to do.
Maury's gonna work out just with one
that.
hand.
Gotta get my toothbrush going.
Ugh.
How PG is this podcast supposed to
not.
be? Because I think I've ruined it already.
I think at one point, well, I mean, we've talked about Curry being
We
a
already talked about
pedophile.
Curry being a child molester. I just don't.
After a certain point, it just doesn't matter.
I'm sorry
I
that I
figured-
draw cutesy
Figured
characters
we're
all the
already
time.
going down the crapshoot. I might as
Exactly.
well just let us splash in.
Oh.
You know.
not the greatest choice of words, but sure, why not?
Perfect choice of words.
Well, with that is our the Kingdom Hearts hour over, and you know what? It's already time to end the podcast. But
Yep,
Yeah.
time to
before we
go.
end
It
it,
is, isn't
as
it?
we all know, we have to do our recommendation. So, does anybody have any recommendations?
I recommend that you don't watch Evangelion 3.33 until the 4th movie is out. I think it's going to be called Shivangelion. And yeah, it's not going to be Ava 4. It's going to be it's going to be Shinji plus Evangelion.
It's
and you
gonna
should
be
wait.
Oni
because-
Evangelion.
Yeah, because you're going to be just... If you watch 3.33, it'll break you and you'll want to watch 4 really bad and it won't be there. And then you'll cry at night. While masturbating. It won't be fun.
No.
It's not a fun life. That's my recommendation.
Curry, anything to add?
Okay.
Curry.
I'm trying.
I'm sorry.
I'm okay. I promise. But
It'll be okay, buddy.
it will be. Okay, so what I recommend is, back during the Christmas break, I actually watched the whole series of Samurai Champloo, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I totally recommend it. It's just the music, the art style, the story, it's just everything about it. I love it. The grittiness.
That is a good
just-
series.
I
And you can
really
find
like
that in HD on Netflix, I believe.
it. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
in beautiful HD, and it's just so good.
I would, to add on that, I would say, like, watch the dub, because the dub is fantastic.
The dub is really
It
good.
is a good dub.
Thank you, Steve Bloom, for being you.
Yes.
What do I recommend? I recommend everybody go to bed and slit your
That's
wrists.
a great recommendation.
No,
You've been watching
I
Daredevil.
completely recommend Resident Evil Remake. They recently had a crazy sale. That's over now, so I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. But this is the 20th anniversary, and I love the Resident Evil series, and Remake has always been... I mean, the original Resident Evil has always been something I really enjoy. I loved everything from the spooky atmosphere, the tone, and just the terrible voice acting. And Remake was reamped and made it more scarier and terrifying. I always found that fun, and the fact that you get to play that in HD on your television, on your PS4 is awesome. So I highly recommend that. I also completely recommend Season 2 of Daredevil. I've recently watched it, and man, what a show. I love what Marvel's doing with this. A lot of people have been saying that Marvel should be doing R-rated stuff. Well, if you go on Netflix, there it is, because Daredevil Season 1, Jessica Jones Season 1, those are fantastic, and they really, really break down some crazy shit. I mean, some dark things are brought up in those shows. And Season 2 of Daredevil was just phenomenal. It introduced the Punisher, and he was fantastic. And Elektra, and just generally gearing us up for what's coming next. And that's Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and then ultimately the Defenders. And I think that's going to be amazing, along with generally how all of the cinematic universe is working now. I'm very excited for everything that Marvel's doing. So I highly recommend that. Daredevil Season 2 and Resident Evil Remake on the PS4.
Sweet.
Anything you guys want to promote beforehand? Any projects coming up that you might want us to talk about?
You
I
are-
talked about mine in the beginning.
That's true. And
I got it out. I got my
Curry's album is coming
my
out
plugs
too.
out of the
songs
out of the
I've
way.
So,
I guess yeah.
Yeah, so we're working on the folk songs album, and yeah, on this album we're trying to get more soloists to actually join this album, and we're trying to make it less many than it was before. So that's how things are going with that, and that's it.
Your last album was showcased at your school, I think, right? That was pretty cool.
It was It was showcased at the Irving Music Festival during.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was. It's a week-long festival held in late February. And, yeah.
Don't forget me when you're famous.
Oh no! He won't forget us because we will be the podcast they'll keep repeating.
Yes.
They'll be like, "Did you say that you like 12-year-old girls when you?"
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna want that.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Did you at some point call everybody in America shits? I'm just reiterating what you're saying.
I didn't even freaking.
He's gonna have like Danny Elfman calling him is it true that you like 12-year-old girls, Cran? And he's gonna be like, no! Oh my god!
No! Will this affect
and
me?
Danny Elfman's gonna be like, me neither. No.
Dang it.
And then I just want to announce that all three of us are going to be working on Let's Plays for the channel generally. We're working on a lot of interesting stuff. Right now, I can only announce 2 separate things that we're going to be working on that I have an understanding that we're going to do. Curry and I will be playing Hotline Miami, which is a pretty awesome game, I will say that.
Great game.
And me and Imori will be playing something. I haven't pinpointed what, but hopefully
Isn't there this one game all three of us were going to play?
Yes.
Is that Bear Simulator?
Bear Simulator.
Bear Simulator?
Actually,
yes.
I might have already bought Bear Simulator.
I think you did because you sent me a screenshot and I was like, ah!
That's true. All right.
As we're excited.
All of that being said, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Thank you for listening to our bullshit and general knowledge of nothing. So, I'm SD2 Production. And the others are silent.
Oh. Cran, go!
Curry's gone again.
Oh, well, Cran was here, and I'm Imori. Hi.
And nope, he's gone for sure. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Tune in next time, and see you later.